Guys, this is Dr. Callahan with Algebra 1 Semester 1 for week 13, Thursday. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. Go ahead and pause the video and answer the following 3 questions. All right, for line of symmetry, take a look at how many there are. Remember, symmetry just means you draw a line, and if you fold it over, it's exactly the same. This question is kind of a trick question. How many lines can you draw for the line of symmetry? There are 8. All right, last time I saw you guys, we talked about your assessment, which is right here, 12 questions. You're supposed to pick any 10 for your assessments. And then I had you guys go ahead and do a few classwork where we went ahead and drew the lines and the shading. So today we are going to be talking about domain and range and matching the answers to the correct domain and range. So take a look at the breakdown. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Domains are generally the x values, and it goes from left to right. Range are the y values, and it goes up and down. Go ahead and read the vocabulary for domain and range. In this example, domains are generally the first numbers in the set. So everything that I'm highlighting in yellow are the domains. And then everything I highlight in blue are the range. If you look at it, is this domain a function? And remember, if the x repeats like the 2 does, it's not a function. So let's go ahead and take a look at this graph, okay? Looking at this graph, let's talk about the domain, okay? The domain is how far does it go to the left and how far does it go to the right? Well, if you look at it, doesn't this graph just gets bigger and bigger and bigger as it keeps going this way? So the domain is negative infinity because it keeps going to the left. And what about this one here? Does it eventually keep going to the right, further and further to the right? Does it ever stop? Nope. So positive infinity, negative infinity to positive infinity. Now for your range, you have to ask yourself, in the domain, it could be all real numbers as well. Negative infinity to positive infinity, all real numbers. For the range, ask yourself, how far does the graph go down and how far does it go up? Well, how far does it go down? Where does it stop? It looks like it stops at 0. Does it ever stop getting taller and taller on top? No. So it will go from 0 all the way up to positive infinity. So you are welcome to write it as 0 to positive infinity. Let's take a look at this question here. So if I took the last one, which is a parabola, and I turn it on its side, for the domain, ask yourself, how far does this graph go left to right? Well, it looks like it starts right here, which is at 3. But then it keeps going further and further over to the right and doesn't stop. So it starts at 3, but then it goes to positive infinity. Now with the range, you got to ask yourself, how far does the graph go down? And if you look at this right here, you see how this graph keeps going down, down, further and further and further. So it's negative infinity. And how far up does this graph go? Keeps going up, further, further up. So positive infinity. And your answer is going to be all real numbers or negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay, let's take a look at this graph here. This one is a little bit tricky, okay? So looking at the domain, ask yourself, how far does this graph go? How far does it go all the way down? And it looks like the lowest point it goes down is the 6, isn't it? How far does it go all the way up? 12. So your domain is going to be from 3 to 12. And it has an equal sign because it's a closed circle. Okay? Now with your range, you're going to ask yourself the same question. How far does it go down? I'm sorry, hold on a second. I totally screwed this up, sorry. The domain is how far does it go to the left? To the left meaning going this way, stops at 3, right? And then how far does it go over to the right? Stops at 12. So your answer is going to be from 3 to 12, okay? Now with a range, it's asking you how far down does it go? So how far lower does it go than this? Well, I believe it stops at 6, and how far up does it go? Stops at 12. So your range is going to be 6, 12. Two different ways of writing it. All right, let's take a look at this question here. Domain, how far does it go this way? Looks like it's at 0, isn't it? How far does it go over to the right? It looks like it stops at 4. So I would say that my domain is from 0 to 4. All right, then for the range, you're asking yourself, how far low does it get? So how far does it go to the bottom? Well, it looks like it stops at 1. And then how far up does it go? And it stops at 5. So that's going to be from 1 to 5. Go ahead and pause the video and ask yourself, what is the range of this function? Is it F, G, H, or J? Well, given the fact that it's a range, how far low does it get down to? Starts at 0. How far up does it get to? At 100. So it should be from 0 to 100. So that will be G. Pause the video, ask yourself this question, which one do you think it is? All right, so looking at this question here, it looks like it goes all the way down to 0. And then how far up does it go? Goes all the way up to 9. So 0, 9 is your answer, so D. What about this one? This one's a little bit tricky. So what is a domain? Domain means how far to the right does it go? And it looks like it goes all the way to the 6. And because it's a closed dot, you want to include the 6, okay? And then how far over to the left does it go? To -2. But if you look at -2, it's not including that -2 because it's an open circle. So it's going to be a parenthesis. So which one showcases that? A, B, C, or D? D is your correct answer. All right, now that we practiced this for a while, I would like you guys to go ahead and take a moment and take a look at this question here. So I would like you guys to take a look at this and just practice it with yourself. Ask yourself, what is a domain? What is a range? So pause the video and take a look. All right, take a look from GHIJKL. Pause the video, tell me what is a range and what is the domain. And then take a look at MNOPQR. What is the domain? What is the range? Okay, next I'm gonna have you guys do is you're gonna go to Desmos, okay? And on Desmos, you're gonna type in the following class code. And you are going to use the following to sign in, okay? So you can go to student.desmos.com, insert code SGC8MZ, pause the video. And once you insert there, you will have several questions available to you, and you're gonna go ahead and describe them. There are 13 questions or 12 questions, and you just need to type in your name along with your answers. All right, you guys, that's basically it for today for mean, domain, and range. As always, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.